Hi, I've got the newest, freshest Trillium beer, Pow Pow. Double IPA, as they say, and it was released today, and I think it was sold out today. It's their collaboration with Lawson's Finest Liquid, known for Sip of Sunshine, Double Sunshine, some of those IPAs that people have been searching for a lot for the past 5, maybe more years. And you can see the date, 12/12, on there, if I didn't do it upside down. And the special thing about this one is it uses a lot of lupulin powder, hop lupulin powder, as you can see what they say on there. And Trillium described it pretty well as hops that are frozen and then smashed, so you get just the lupulin active ingredient inside the hops. I think it's best described as flavor crystals, because that's all it is, and then you avoid having any vegetal, stemmy, leaf particles getting into the beer. And the lupulin powder they used in this beer was from Citra, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops. And then they used regular old whole, or maybe pelletized, Nelson and Galaxy hops. So that's basically the dream team of hops. The three most well-known, perhaps, IPA hops in America for the past 5 years. And then Nelson from New Zealand and Galaxy from Australia. All these hops I love a lot. So I'm really looking forward to it. Trillium has done one other lupulin powder beer that I liked a lot. And that one was a little different because it was a collaboration with the Veil, and it was a 0 IBU beer where they don't use any bittering hops. They don't boil them at all. So that one is a little bit sweeter, at least according to my perception, because of the low bitterness. This one is done, I guess, in a normal way, like Trillium usually does it. The malt bill does have English Pale Ale malt, which I don't know if Trillium's ever used before. Otherwise, it's, you know, Turo and some wheat and stuff. Very, very simple malt bill. And it's only 7.7% alcohol, which I don't know why they decided on that. Maybe to keep some sweetness in there. Because almost all of Trillium's double IPAs are either 8 or 8.4, 8.5. And I don't know, if it's gonna remind me a lot of Lawson's IPAs. We'll see. I think it's time to drink it. And yeah, having the first day it comes out is always fun. A lot of people love to say, "Oh, you gotta let it sit." Well, we'll see about that. Rather murky. They didn't say if they double dry hop this or anything. They definitely said they used, or implied that they used, the lupulin powder in like the whirlpool at the end of the brewing process, and then they also dry hopped it, I think, with the lupulin powder. So maybe you're able to use more lupulin powder, but that smells very, very nice. Huge on candy and fruit in this one. It just smells like cotton candy to me. Cotton candy and Smarties, but I'm not getting a chalky sort of thing, really. Pineapple. Yeah, so many fruits happening as aroma, and it's pretty strong aroma. Yeah, passion fruit, peach, mango, lots of juicy ripe mango, all super ripe tropical fruits. A little mandarin or something in there, but it's not overly orangey or grapefruity in the aroma, but lots of sweet, generic, fruity candy things, like not quite bubblegum, but cotton candy, bubblegum, like taffy aromas and stuff like that. And it smells like it's going to be a very sweet beer. I'm not getting any dank, weird green qualities at all. I think that's what the lupulin powder really does a good job of. And as far as from like Nelson and Galaxy, often there's some sort of green thing I notice from them, like green peppers, but I'm not really getting that in this. I think the lupulin powder is really shining in this beer. Whew. it gets a little bit astringent on there, but ooh. Yeah, that's nice. That's got a lot of fruits going on. It definitely brings in some spiciness and bitterness and a little bit of booze heat, but the hop fruitiness is still the primary thing that I'm noticing. That's pretty good. It doesn't turn into a really sappy asparagus vegetal-y or like menthol eucalyptus experience like that I get from the flavor, especially of some super hopped hazy things. Yeah, the feel's not maybe quite as soft and juicy as some of Trillium beers, but the aftertaste is pretty bitter, but it's not, I think, too bad. And I like how it's pretty dry. It doesn't have a big syrupy sweetness that sometimes with these IPAs, especially ones that have, you know, are barely bittering hopped. This one's got a nice good amount of bitterness and dryness going on. Now I'm getting some smokier aromas, some deeper, woodsier flavors too. And now I'm noticing a little bit of some fresh green pepper, but it's not overwhelming like some beers that are hopped, like with a lot of Nelson, primarily Nelson or New Zealand hops. It's still got a lot of fruit. I'm getting some heat. I would have guessed this is a little stronger than 7.7%, but it's not too much. And the aroma is just so fruity. But now I'm getting maybe just a teeny bit of some plasticky thing in the finish that might mellow out with a little bit of age. I did get a whole 4-pack of this, so I can not drink them all really fast. But the aroma and the fruitiness of this is really nice. It doesn't have any weird onion green elements, and even the green pepper elements are really muted. But the weird sweaty dankness you often get from Mosaic, Citra, and Simcoe are just totally gone in this beer because of their use of the Lupulin powder. I'm really just getting a teeny bit from the Nelson and Galaxy because those ones, they use the actual hops, not just the powder. Yeah, yes, it's just a touch of that, but still super fruity. And it's got that nice glow. The head is interesting. It doesn't look quite like the other Trillium ones. It was not huge and rocky, and then I thought it was going to die down and dissipate really quickly, but there's like this interesting sort of sparkly ring. Maybe their other beers often do have it, but it just looks a little bit different. The color is also, it's really pale. It has a teeny bit of gray, but I don't know. It's probably from the English pale malt is doing something a little different, because they usually use just 2-row American pale malt for their IPAs, and then in a lot of their double IPAs they actually use Pilsner malt, which is even paler. So the English malt might be adding a little bit more color, a little bit of toastiness. Actually, I'm getting some Cheerios, not even Honey Nut Cheerios because it's just too dry, but they're pulling off a lot of dryness and bitterness without being dank, and just being so fruit forward with this beer that it's pretty darn good. And the aroma keeps morphing. Like, I'm smelling it now and it seems a little different. At first it was all fruit, and then I started getting some peppery notes, and now there's some woodsy perfumey qualities. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm gonna have to sit with this one and think a lot more about a rating, but I mean, I guess I could give it a super duper high rating, but I feel like it's about on par with most of Trillium's double IPAs.